We've got some incredible body tricks for you to show your friends. Want to find out how you can stop your mates from simply picking up something off the floor? We're going to show you.
Xand, to do this trick, I'm going to need some money.
Oh, all right. But it's my lunch money. I'm going to need it back.
Well, I tell you what, Xand, you can have it back if you can pick it up off the floor. If you don't pick it up, I get it.
Sounds quite easy. I got it. That was a rubbish trick. Who thinks that was a rubbish trick?
All right, Xand, well, we'll do it again. This time, you won't be able to pick up the money. So go and stand against the wall. And now, keeping your feet where they are, I just want you to bend down and pick up the money. Come on, Xand, pick it up.
Chris, what have you done? Ah, I can't get it.
That's hard.
So it looks like I get the lunch money, doesn't it?
Come on then, let's see if anyone else can do it. He can't. She definitely can't. So why can't anyone, including Xand, pick up the money?
When you bend over, your bum pushes back, and the wall's stopping it from pushing back.
Georgia's got it. Normally, when you bend over to pick something up, your body will adjust itself backwards in order to balance it out. So when your body's flat against the wall, you can't go backwards, and there's no chance of picking up that money. All you can do is fall forwards.
So I'm going to need the money back from all of you guys. Give me my money back! Come on, Xand.
Today's fix is all about blood. Some people are missing proteins in their blood that make it clot, which can make them bleed for longer. If they get a knock, they can bruise easily and can bleed inside joints too, where it can be very painful. Conditions like this, where the blood doesn't clot as easily, are called haemophilia, and with the right medication, they can be treated. Meet brothers Ben, Zach and Jake. They all have haemophilia, which is managed by injections of medicine. They have to come to the hospital every 3 months for a checkup with a team that are experts in haemophilia.
Morning.
What can you tell me about haemophilia?
That if you injure yourself seriously, then it could lead to a big bleed.
And what happens if you get just a normal cut or a scratch?
I just got to go and clean it and then carry on playing.
And the medicine that you've injected keeps working in your body?
Yeah.
The injected medicine allows Jake's blood to clot properly and heal any cuts or bruises. This is Dr. Granger, and he's giving the boys their checkup today.
Normal knobbly knees, no swelling on there.
So they look like the normal shins of a 10-year-old boy, don't they?
It's what I call healthy, active boy bruises.
Yeah.
If he wasn't on his regular treatment, we would see very large sort of tennis ball size bruises, which would often have sort of hard lumps in them, and it'd be a lot more black and blue.
Now this isn't Jake, and it might look a bit extreme, but even a small bruise can become a very big problem if the blood under the skin isn't stopped by medication. So the routine checkup is over, and it's back to school for the brothers. No pictures! Once you're 11, the clinic teach you to inject the medicine yourself. Meet Mohammed.
Have you ever had a big cut?
Yeah.
I can see a very slight scar there on your forehead.
There is.
There.
I was playing outside with my cousins, and then I went and fell on these rocks, and I smashed my head, and when I went inside, I was panicking because I never knew what to do.
So when Mohammed gets big cuts, he needs extra treatment. He needs more of his clotting factor, more of this special protein.
Mohammed is going to show me how he injects his medicine.
I mean, this is like you being your own doctor, nurse, and TV star all at once, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, doctor, carry on. So now you described this like a plane coming into land. And it does, actually, these needles look a little bit like planes, don't they, with their wings?
Now I have to just take off the elastic, and now let me just flush all this in.
As the medicine goes into the vein, it mixes with the blood to help it clot, which means he'll get a scab if he cuts himself, which is what the doctors want.
So it's amazing watching Mohammed do this because I really want to help. Do you know what I mean, Mohammed? I really want to get involved and be like, no, because this is what I'd normally do. So it's lovely to have a patient just do it to themselves.
We do teach the boys to do their injections when they're 10 and 11, so that Mohammed can now go off and go on school holidays and have trips out without mum worrying whether or not he's going to have a bleed whilst he's out and about.
Yeah.
For Jake, Zach, Ben and Mohammed, their blood doesn't clot as easily. But the treatment and training they get from the team here helps their bodies fix themselves. I mean, in the case of Mohammed, he's not just getting treatment, he's learning to treat himself. Is Mohammed going to put me out of a job? Your eyes are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Actually, a lot of people have told me that.
Not your eyes, everyone else's eyes. In fact, your eyes can move over 100,000 times in a single day.
Now, we know that our eyes come in all sorts of different colours, but if I look into Chris's eyes...
Stop that.
If I look into Chris's eyes, all I can really see is the coloured bit, the iris, and the black hole in the middle, the pupil. But there's a lot more going on.
It's time to delve a little deeper.
This is my digital ophthalmoscopic slip.
It's Chris's eye camera.
This will let us look at Xand's eye super close up. Wow, that's amazing. So this is Xand's eye. Now, the coloured bit of the eye here is called the iris. And the colour of the iris depends on the amount of pigment in it. Xand's got a brown iris, which means he's got lots of pigment, and people with less pigment have blue or green, lighter coloured eyes. And the iris is a ring of muscle surrounding the pupil, and the pupil's black because it's a hole going right through to the back of Xand's eyeball.
Your iris and pupil work together to help you see and to show you how Chris is going to use this torch, which is specially made for looking at eyes.
I'm going to shine it into Xand's eye, and you'll see his eye will detect the extra light and contract the pupil. When I take it away, there's less light and the pupil gets bigger again.
This is what happens when you go to a dark place like a cinema. Your iris opens your pupil right up to let in as much light as possible so that you can see. But if you go to a bright place, like a sunny beach, your iris closes your pupil right down to let in less light because you don't need all that light to see.
Now, I want to show you even more about the eye, but the only way I can do that is by taking one out and chopping it up.
Don't worry, Xand, I'm not going to chop up your eyes. I got some from the butchers to help us with our experiment.
This is a pig's eyeball.
Wait. What do you call a pig with no eyes?
Pug. That's really bad. Now, these pug's eyeballs are very similar to human eyeballs, and to show you what's going on inside, we're going to cut one open.
Obviously, we're trained up to do this. We need to get the lens out because it does something really brilliant.
Oh, there you go.
That went really well.
Now, the lens receives all the images and sends them to the retina. And the retina completely covers the back of the eye. So it's a bit like the sensor in a digital camera. It captures the image and then sends the information to the brain for processing.
But, just to make things a little bit more complicated, when the image lands on the retina, it's upside down.
And that's because light rays bounce off everything you're looking at, travelling in straight lines. But your lens is curved, so you can focus on different objects. When the straight lines hit the curved lens, they bend, and the image hits your retina upside down.
And we can prove it. I've taken the lens out of this eyeball. I want you to look through it and tell me what you can see.
Yeah, you're upside down. Now, we appear to be upside down, and this is what's happening inside your eye. But if the retina receives the information upside down, why aren't we seeing the whole world upside down?
Well, the answer is that when your brain receives the upside down image, it cleverly flips it over so the world seems the right way up. I said it cleverly flips it over so the world seems the right way up.
Your mouth and throat are awesome, and we're going to show you one of the cleverest tricks your body does every time you eat.
Swallowing. And if you're thinking, what's the big deal with swallowing? Well, here's the thing. Your lungs and stomach actually share part of the same tube. Your mouth and throat go into one tube that then splits so that you can eat and breathe through the same hole.
Now, you might be thinking, because everything goes in through the throat, this could get pretty disastrous with all your food ending up in your lungs, right?
Wrong.
He's right.
Never fear. You actually have a super duper clever bit of body kit that
that stops this happening.
It's called the epiglottis, and to show you how it works, I'm going to put a camera up Chris's nose and down into his throat. This is a transnasal esophagoscopic camera. That's a bit of a mouthful, but what it means is it can go up through your nose and down into your esophagus, which is the tube that carries food to your tummy.
Now, even if you do have a transnasal esophagoscopic camera lying around at home, you still shouldn't try this yourself. We are responsible doctors, and only people like us can use transnasal esophagoscopic cameras.
You like saying that, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, so we've just gone into Chris's nose. You can see a few hairs there, a few bogies. You might want to save those for tea later. I can actually see the camera at the back of Chris's throat. It's like a cave in there. This here is actually the dangly bit at the back of your throat. It's called the uvula. Now we're going further in. So this here, that's his tongue.
And just behind that is a pink flap, the epiglottis, that folds over when we swallow.
Hello, Chris's epiglottis. You're right down there. Still doing a good job. Now, at the moment, it's open because he's breathing. It's letting air into his lungs. The minute he swallows, it'll really quickly close to prevent any food or liquid going into his lungs and divert it all down into his tummy. You'll be able to see it much better if he has some soup. You ready for some soup, Chris?
Yeah. Right.
Here we go.
Wait, is this carrot and coriander?
Yes. Your favourite?
You know I hate that.
What? Here we go. Yum, yum, yum. So you can actually see the spoon with the soup in it going into his mouth. We're putting the soup in. And now, watch the epiglottis when he swallows. There, you see it moves really quickly, closes off his lungs completely so that all the soup goes down into his tummy.
Let's see that again. There's the windpipe. Here comes the soup. There, the epiglottis closes, the soup goes down, yum. The epiglottis opens, job done.
You actually swallow about 600 times a day. Sometimes when you're eating, and sometimes when you're just swallowing your own saliva.
So we've shown you how your epiglottis stops you getting lungs full of food and spit.
But what if you were upside down?
Well, there's another body part that stops your food going up when you're upside down.
You mean down?
No, up. From the tip of your tongue to the end of your bum, you've got a long tube lined with smooth muscle that squeezes food through your body, a bit like squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. It even works when you're upside down, and we're going to prove it.
Xandi won't mind being upside down as long as I feed him.
Okay, Xand, here's some soup.
Ooh, lovely. Carrot and coriander, my favourite.
Now, it's not a good idea to always eat soup like this. Imagine what restaurants would look like if we did.
Now, what's happening now is that the smooth muscle in my esophagus is pushing the soup up towards my stomach. This is called peristalsis. Waves of muscle contraction all the way through my gut push food through my digestive system.
So swallowing works even when you're upside down. But let's face it, it's not a good idea. You're going to end up with soup in your hair.
Chris?
Trip up on skipping ropes. You could get splatted on the forehead by a large ice cream.
Oh, what's the time, Xand?
I'll check.
Or you could slip on a banana skin.
Actually, Chris, I think you're the one that's more likely to have an accident because you're so clumsy.
What? You're the clumsy one.
It's more likely to slip on something.
You just splat me in the face with your ice cream.
Ugh. Ugh! I'm being stung!
Ooh, a minor injury.
Ah! So, what should you do if you get stung? Is it A, run around the park screaming, "I want my teddy"? B, go and have some cake? Or C, scrape off the sting and put something cold on the area for no more than 10 minutes? The answer is C. So, to treat a sting,
First of all, scrape out the sting with something like a credit card or your nail.
the sting sticks out and looks like a splinter.
Then put something cold on the area, like frozen peas.
How's that?
Much better.
Good. Now hang on just a second. I want my teddy bear. I want my teddy bear.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying option A.
Xand, you weren't even stung.
So scrape out the sting and put something cold on it for no longer than 10 minutes. If you're worried, tell an adult. We've got some incredible body tricks for you to show your friends. Everyone's going to want to try this one.
We've got a really tasty trick for you, and I'm going to use Xand as my first volunteer. So you fancy a donut?
Oh, lovely.
No, it's not how the trick works. You've got to slow down. So what we're going to do is we're going to give Xand this donut, which is covered in sugar, and Xand, you've got to eat the whole thing without licking your lips. You think you can do this?
Yeah, that's easy. I could do that all day.
OK, ready? Here we go. There's the donut.
Now, let's see if Xand can eat his donut without licking his lips.
It's difficult.
You're doing quite well so far, Xand, but can you keep it up? Oh, you've licked!
Oh, look! Who thinks that they could do the trick well?
What, you think you're better than me?
Well, let's see how this lot get on. They're trying very hard.
And so far, no one's licked.
You're gonna lick soon. You're gonna lick soon.
Sooner or later, it becomes too much to resist. He's licking.
She's definitely licking.
And so is he. So why is it so hard to resist licking the sugar off your lips?
When the jam and sugar was on your lips, it was sort of irritating. You wanted to get rid of the irritation and wanted the tastiness of it.
Charlie has almost got it. Your lips have more sensory receptors than pretty much anywhere else, making them super sensitive to even the smallest bit of sugar. So, as soon as the receptors feel something touching them, they tell your brain to remove the irritation. That's why you lick your lips.
It's not just that you get the tasty treat of having all the jam and sugar on your lips, but you also... Xand? What are you doing?
I'm just practicing.
Your body can need mending in all sorts of ways, and we're going to meet some special teams that are trained to fix you.
Speaking is one of the most complicated things you can do. And while I bet you know that your lips and tongue and voice box are all involved, I bet you don't know what your soft palate does, or even where it is. Well, open your mouth and say ah. See that? It's where the dangly bit hangs from. And most of us use it without even thinking about it. But today, we're going to meet a patient who's learning to use hers.
9-year-old Millie is in speech therapy after she was born with a cleft palate. This means she had a hole going through the roof of her mouth to her nose. She's had a series of operations to fix this. However, Millie still finds speaking a little bit difficult.
There are some sounds that you find really easy and some sounds that you find difficult.
And I find the S word more difficult than other words.
And that's the one you've been working on today, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you make a speech sound like an S, the soft palate needs to lift up and make a seal with the back of the throat. In Millie's case, she isn't able to do that. So when air comes up, it isn't directed just into her mouth, it also escapes down her nose as well. To help her with that, she's working with speech therapist Jane O'Connell. Today I've joined the class and Jane's set us a challenge.
Got to make up a sentence for each of these words.
And then I'll be better than you. And I use powerful adjectives as well.
Oh, you might use powerful adjectives?
Yeah.
I don't think I know any powerful adjectives.
Saw.
My dad sawed the wood to make a door.
My dad sawed the wood to make a door. Good sentence. Now it's my turn. I saw the sun shining in the sky.
No, what I saw. What is sawing?
Millie's having none of it. So I can't say I saw the sun.
No.
No, I meant like I saw the sun. No, that doesn't work, does it?
Well, you tried.
I think I need my homework more than Millie. There are other sounds that most of us take for granted, but again, our bodies have to do more than you'd think.
Make a sound for me. Okay, what happens if I hold your nose? Listen to what happens to that sound.
I can't do it.
No. What would normally happen is the air would come down your nose, but because I'm holding your nose, I'm blocking the air from coming down. And it actually turns that sound into almost a B sound.
So try that at home. Make a sound. And the sound is a nasal sound where the air does have to come out your nose. And if you block your nose, you can't make the sound, so it becomes a B as the air escapes.
So the really difficult thing that Millie's having to learn is to consciously control muscles that most people don't even know exist, like the muscles at the top and the back of your mouth. And so that is quite a skill to master. Before we finish, Millie's got her own speaking challenge for me.
OK, so I've got to say red lorry and yellow lorry.
That's that.
Fast. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red... Oh, I can't do it.
Oh, she beat me again. Good luck, Millie.